everybody, welcome back. We are the Video Store Junkies, and today we are going to be bringing you some reactions to the amazing trailers or non-trailers that they showed during the Super Bowl yesterday. So I'm just going to kind of go, we've got ourselves a little list here, and I'm just going to kind of go in that order. It looks like this is one where they just did a little spot during the game, and then it insisted that everybody go to YouTube or elsewhere to watch the trailer, and that is the Bob Marley One Love movie. Any thoughts?
I love me some Bob Marley.
Yes, sure.
It looked like every other music biography film that was ever made.
About Bob Marley, yeah.
You know, there's
like I'm sure it'll be good, but
I'm sure you're going to get a contact high if you go there opening night.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen they've had the trailers been out for a couple of months already. That's the thing. A lot of these aren't like new trailers. This trailer's been out a couple of months, and I've seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah, why? Why are they doing that?
I don't know, because it used to be like, here's a big new trailer. Now it's like, here's a trailer that's been out for I guess because no one's been to the theater since Christmas.
Well, there's the problem. How do you advertise a movie now? I mean, back in the day when there were only 3 channels, ABC, CBS, NBC, you would have some on there, and you could be pretty sure that everyone would see your trailer. And now I see a lot of comments from people on Facebook. It's like, I didn't even know this movie was out. And there's too many platforms. There's no way that they can spend the money necessary to put all those out there, especially for maybe a smaller film. So, I mean, the Bob Marley one, it sounded like his actual music, and that's good.
Yeah,
because I'm not too crazy when they get someone, either they don't get the rights to the music. There was a David Bowie movie that came out, and they couldn't use any of his music.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that about the David Bowie one.
Well, there were a couple of David Bowie movies. I think one they did use his music, and one they didn't. And that's not going to work. That's the
point. Yeah.
No. I mean, at least some kids will discover now where some of the samples that they love in their horrible music
and
from.
I do love me some Children, but man, I just tell you, it's gonna, because they wow, this amazing new artist that I discovered. Did you know how good this guy was? Like, really, where have you been for the last 30 years? You didn't exist, you little shit. So, I don't know.
Oh, welcome to my world. These kids, the kids who like me, they'll come up and it's like, oh, Mr. Mulligan, you got to listen to this really solid song. I'm going to be listening to him. I'm like, oh my God, that's the Tom Tom Club. It's like, no, it's Snoop Snuggy Snooze or whatever. Like, and he's talking about popping caps into bitches' asses and everything, but that the music, the thing that he's doing it to, that's the freaking Tom Tom Club. But then I looked it up and I found Tom Tom Club made actually way more money now that they're sampling all their stuff than they ever did back.
Wow.
Oh yeah, because when they were actually musicians and out there and touring and everything, they were part of the music scam industry and they were paid peanuts and ripped off and everything.
Oh, that does remind me, like, as a theme across these things, the number of needle drops in the trailers made me want to, like, just gouge my ears out. Despicable Me 4,
yes,
very much so. I mean, now Illuminations, I mean, that's sort of their jam is just throw gratuitous needle drops. But to be honest, I think there's 2 things on the teaser trailer on this. I give them credit. It wasn't just a clip of the movie. It was a goofy riff on AI, and then you find out the Minions are fucking around with it.
Yeah.
And then you go to see the trailer for Despicable Me 4. And I mean, to be honest, Illuminations it's consistently okay. It's fun. I mean, there's stuff's like not something you're going to remember. In fact, I don't remember anything that goes on in Despicable Me 2 or 3. But so I was like, wait, he's married? Oh yeah, I guess I kind of forgot that part. But it doesn't matter. It's probably going to be fun and goofy, and we'll definitely go see it. But it's just looks silly to me. But it is like just gratuitous needle drops in that. At least that was my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, the Despicable Me thing, it's just the Minions, and that's what it's all about. And as long as they're smart enough, and I guess they are, they know how much to spend on these movies so that they're going to make a profit. If they market it well, if they let the kids know, hey, there's a movie I can take the kids to, and it's got enough stuff in it that I will not want to be gouging my eyes out. Pokemon movie 1, I'm looking right at you. They can keep this gravy train going forever. They really can. But it's, there's nothing more. There's nothing more to it. This is just to make some money. And I mean, they're all to make some money, and there's worse ones coming up.
Yeah. I mean,
keeps the kids happy. Kids like repetition. You don't want to go to Despicable Me movie and actually have to think very hard. I don't want to have any social relevancy. I don't want them to, attack issues ripped from today's headlines and Despicable Me 5, even more despicable. No, I do not want to see any of that, and we won't. So there you go.
I mean, the most topical they got was the Super Bowl spot because they were fucking around with AI. So I thought that was pretty fun.
I thought that was pretty funny because
when
you sent that to me, I clicked on it and I'm watching it and I'm waiting for the end this ad now button to pop up. And it never did. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh no, this is the actual teaser. And it was, okay, that was cute. Come on. But whatever.
Right.
How about the next one? Next one, an original idea here's one that's never been done before.
Oh God. And I've been if I see this ad one more time, I'm going to gouge my eyes out.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl trailer thing was kind of cute. It was funny, right? But the trailer itself has been out for months, and I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And I'm so sick of Ryan Reynolds anyway that it's just. And if I see another film that's introduced from the imagination of John Krasinski or from the crazy mind of whatever his name is who did Argyle or from the dark vision of I just drop that. I hate that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
From the visionary creator behind Despicable Me 4. Yeah, I always like that one. The visionary.
But what were you going to say, Renee?
Oh, it's just like you were mentioning that you're so sick of Ryan Reynolds, and we're gonna get to some, I think, as these trailers go on. But it's like, are there only 8 people in Hollywood that can act in movies? Like, Jesus, and I know like that's a pretty consistent thing that happens, but I feel like it's really excessively like consolidated during this particular phase in time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
I don't mind Ryan Reynolds.
I don't really have a lot of thoughts. This isn't really like kind of my type of movie. It's just, I kind of, it's very kind of family kid or, oriented. And also that's the kind of movie I know if I watch it, I'll just be like, oh, I'm sad, and I'll cry or something. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to put myself through that. So I'm just going to not watch it, most likely.
It just feels, I know there have been movies about imaginary characters who come to life. I can't remember. There was a painfully unfunny
Drop Dead
one.
Fred.
Drop Dead Fred.
Drop
Thank
Dead
you.
Fred was the first one that came to
look
mind.
at that.
Exactly.
There, look at my prompt. I gave you painfully unfunny, and immediately you gave me Drop Dead Fred. Man, I should write for AI. My prompts are just that good. Yeah, that's one of those things. Kids, the imaginary friends. Hollywood would have you believe that every child had an imaginary friend, to the point where you start thinking, was there something wrong with me? It's like,
Right.
or you talk about it with your actual friends. Like, did you have an imaginary friend? Like, hell no, I was normal. I wasn't on any medication. And then there's always the one Debbie Downer who's like, I had no friends, so all of my friends were imaginary. It's like, yeah, well, that's still going to be true if you keep bringing us down, okay, Betty? Just knock it off. Complete downer. But yeah, so all of them, and it could be funny. I mean, it depends how dark they want to get with some of these imaginary friends.
That's true. Now we got more sequels. So many sequels.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Lord help us.
Yeah. Inside Out 2.
This one's to a good movie. Inside Out was a good movie. And one of the last times that Pixar was really, there was a time when Pixar was always firing on all cylinders. And then like an awful lot of Hollywood production companies. They've fallen on harder times. Some of their stuff has been good and just hasn't really clicked with the public. Some of it hasn't been that great and also hasn't clicked with the public. I don't know exactly what's happening, but this one feels, I see a story here because when the kid turns 13 and now they're going to turn into a little hormonal monster. But I think they already did that movie with Red. So,
that's true. Yeah, Turning Red. It is.
Yeah.
Turning. I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
How many times do we tell them this story? And Turning Red bombed horribly, but maybe it was COVID. See, there's part of the problem is that Hollywood is able to believe, and maybe they're right. I guess we'll find out. They're able to believe that a lot of these things that didn't do well, it wasn't their fault. It was COVID. And people would have responded if the theaters had been opened and everything. And maybe some of that's true, but I'm not so sure. So
yeah, oh, good.
No, I was just going to say, I didn't really get a big feel for this other than they introduced a new emotion, anxiety, which apparently this child has never had before she was 13. And I had an idyllic childhood, and I had plenty of anxiety. So I don't know what Pollyanna universe of rainbows that this kid was living in. But apparently,
did you watch the full trailer, Bill? Because the full trailer's been out again. I've seen the trailer.
Oh, I think I only watched the
many
Super Bowl
fucking
one.
times.
How many other emotions do we have?
It's not just anxiety. She says something like, "Oh, the others," and they're like others, and it says and so it's like it has like this list that goes by really fast. It's like. It says, let's see, the feel good, sad, angry, disgusted, envious, embarrassing, blah, 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 blah. And so it's it's the fact that now she's hit puberty. Now she has all these other emotions. Yep. So it's I wonder if they're going to get like, I don't know. It seems, even though it's kind of an interesting twist on the previous premise, it doesn't seem different enough,
right,
to warrant a movie. I think.
And Inside Out had an actual story arc, the idea of this child beginning to grow up and outgrowing her imaginary friend, for example. What is this one? Dealing with puberty, like yikes. And how many too many emotions will just be chaotic. The ones that they had were a nice group. So I don't know. Again, this just feels like things haven't been working out. So let's go back to something that did work. But it's been a few years now since Inside Out. Probably longer than I'm thinking. And
yeah,
I noticed that. Hollywood, it used to be they would spit out a sequel almost immediately, maybe faster than they should have. And now it feels like, 30 years go by and it's like, hey guys, Sin City 2. It's like, what?
So let's move on to Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh, God. Are we up to 4 now? Gosh, I sure hope they haven't run out of ideas.
I don't remember 2 and 3. We just watched 1 because Shelley had actually never seen it.
Oh.
And it is charming.
It is.
But it's like, I don't remember how old it is. I mean, Kung Fu Panda was...
I guess they'll keep doing it till Jack Black says no, right?
Right.
I guess so.
And Jack Black will never
came out.
He will never say no. Listen, he could, for the same amount of money he got for like going into a studio for a week and voicing things with a latte in one hand and a sandwich in the other, ruining many takes. He could go out and make an actual movie where he's got to go in the Gobi Desert or something and do Jumanji 7. Just get eaten by scorpions and sunburn his ass off. No, he's never going to stop doing these. He'd be insane. Insane. This is a gravy
the first
train.
one was charming, but
yeah,
it came out 16 years ago. The other thing I was thinking is, the other thing I was thinking is, I am surprised. I mean, they actually do have more Asian voice actors in it this time than they did the first one. But still, that they don't get nailed for whitewashing. I mean, that it's just, because you still have Ian McShane, you still have Bryan Cranston and Dustin Hoffman and Jack Black, Viola Davis.
Yeah.
I'm like, so, I mean, like I said, they have.
Are we at the point now where you have to cast an Asian actor to voice a panda?
I'm just saying okay. I'm not the one who's saying that it's whitewashing. I'm saying I'm surprised there
No,
haven't
you're right. You're right.
calls against it.
But
See what I'm saying?
maybe they don't say it out of embarrassment. It's like, wait a minute, you telling me every time we have a kangaroo, we have to hire an Australian actor? You know, is this where we are? Are there not bigger fish to fry? But you're right. You're right, of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, so anyway, that wasn't really. I was sort of like saying I thought that was interesting.
What did you think about the trailer itself in terms of the thrilling story that it gave you?
I've seen the trailer so many times by this point again that it's like I'm just like, okay. I mean, I'm sure we'll go see it, but because we've got the Alamo season pass, so
right. So why not go see everything?
Yeah.
Kung Fu. I just want to say, Kung Fu Panda's trailer ends with a fart joke, so let's not expect greatness here. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's who's the audience, right? So
I guess But it seems like the trailers are supposed to show you stuff that's like, here's the best parts of this movie. So when a trailer is like really bad, as several have been, that's such a red flag. I mean, it's like, oh my God, yikes. But
speaking of oh my God and yikes, I was just looking. So aside from the 3 other movies, there've been like a bazillion Kung Fu Panda
spin-offs,
TV series and specials.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
yeah, and only some of them had Jack Black. Others had this other guy doing the voice. So
well, they got to keep Jack Black in line. It's like, listen, listen,
true.
funny boy, we can replace you.
Well, speaking of gratuitous sequels, Moana 2.
Well, I liked Moana, but this
I did, but
teaser has nothing except we're making another Moana, and that's basically all that it tells you.
Yeah,
pretty much. It's definitely the definition of a teaser. At least that's good. I mean, it's nice to actually have a teaser that's actually a teaser and not one that says go view the 3-hour-long trailer.
That's true.
So, yeah, I guess we just wait to be seen. But I don't know. Again, I'm not a big fan of like.
Yeah. How many sequels, have really been as good as the original, and usually not, because the original had a story. There was a story. The character started here and ended up here, and then with the sequel, they need to start where they ended up, and then create some artificial conflict to make them go once again. Not every story needs to have a follow up.
Okay, the only one that really worked well, and I, honest to God, is Lion King 1.5. So, I'm not kidding. Lion King 1.5 follows Timon and Pumbaa. It honestly is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. So if you've ever read the play or watched the movie, which follows the characters of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from Hamlet, when they're not when they're not on stage, sort of almost. That's what this is. So you're following Timon and Pumbaa while all the other shit's going on. So yeah, it's actually pretty fun.
The only one that worked for me was Beneath the Planet of the Apes, because the lead actor did not want to make it and insisted that they kill him and blow up the planet Earth. So yeah, you got to admire that. Say what you will about Charlton Heston. That was a wise move. I wish everyone insisted that. Like, I wish Moana 2. It's like, okay, we'll do Moana 2, but everyone gets killed when a volcano erupts at the end. Right? So no more.
The villagers have to remove their faces and show that they're actually mutants. I would be so down for that.
One of them's Victor Buono. But then you have
Moana 3 where they go back in time.
Oh yeah.
And they end up and they're on. They find a spaceship and go. Oh wait, okay.
At least it's not a prequel. Thank God none of these are prequels. Oh, wait. Well, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Okay, so the next one, I feel like I actually saw the entire movie. It's a 3-minute trailer. Well, maybe not the Super Bowl one, but the one that you sent us to. It's Monkey Man.
Ah, yes. I did not watch the full trailer. I just watched the clip of it, the little spot during the Super Bowl. At first I was like, because, you mentioned it was like John Wick with Dev Patel. I was like, Then I'm watching a little bit more of the trailer. I will say, I do appreciate that there's like some cultural diversity coming in. So that was kind of nice. And as a actor, director, I appreciate that he does tend to do that a lot in his movies. I think if they have a good story behind it. Now, again, I didn't watch the whole trailer, so I don't really know what the story that you guys already might know what that is. I think if they have a decent story behind it, it could be good, but I don't know. Yeah, it's again not really my go-to kind of movie.
If you watch the whole trailer, it's like 3.5 minutes long. It's
Then I'll just know.
really long.
I'll watch the movie trailer later.
Yeah, I've had to sit through it in the theater a couple times, so I didn't have a chance to skip it.
Oh,
but no, I agree. I mean, it does look very much like Dev Patel as John Wick, but in a good way. And like you said, yeah, I like the cultural diversity of it, which is kind of cool. It's neat to get a different take on the whole story. So, and he's got like a monkey mask on points.
One. Yeah, that's I got to that point, and they were like the white monkey, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like waiting for Tom Cruise to pop out somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked okay. It's a lot of punching. A lot of people get their faces punched.
Sure, right.
I don't know. I like this kind of film. The Protector, some of the Tony Jaa films and everything, but they tend to be pretty low budget, and I guess there's something about watching what's obviously a very high budget, well filmed cinematography and everything, but seems to be has no more plot or story than a typical Tony Jaa revenge film. They killed your family, now they must die. And he's gonna go through 100 men to get to whoever the bad guy was. Luckily, none of those 100 men carry guns.
Right.
And I hate to think that I'm getting to this point in my life, but once you've seen Old Boy, it's hard to and then I have to spend the rest of my life watching people who also saw Old Boy and get to make a movie, and they're gonna do the hallway scene better. And it's like, well, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because what your idea of better is, I'm going to have more acrobatics, and I'm going to make the camera do things that a camera can't do. And what made the scene work, it was just a bunch of really talented stuntmen. And what I hope was a foam rubber hammer. But I'm not really sure, because life is cheap, and so it's just never going to happen. So I don't know, but it looks fun. But I'm even the John Wick films. By the time you get to John Wick 3, I mean, how many headshots can I watch? You get numb after a while.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, John Wick had like the kind of wild world building that they did, and they kind of made it more and more outrageous as it went on. I mean, I think this one I'm still kind of looking forward to. Like Renee said, I like the different cultural aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which might make it more interesting. So, but I thought it was interesting that the trailer that he showed on the Super Bowl, I don't think it mentioned Dev Patel, did it? It just simply said from producer Jordan Peele, and it was like, wait, this is Dev Patel's film. Shouldn't you kind of? I don't think it mentioned Dev Patel at all.
I think Jordan Peele's a bigger name.
Oh, it did.
At this point.
Oh, it shows up. He shows up about halfway through. His name shows up halfway through. So,
because I like me some Jordan Peele. So that definitely bumps it up a few notches in my interest.
Yeah. Apparently, at least according to IMDb trivia, we know how true that is. Dev Patel got his black belt in Taekwondo when he was 16. So there you go.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Well, I take back anything take back anything bad I ever said about any of his films.
That's right. Yes. What a great guy. Very talented. So Jordan Peele, I do like his movies. I think, though, there's one franchise that he could work on that still would not make me inclined to want to watch it, and it is the Planet of the Apes. And this one particularly is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I have never been a Planet of the Apes person. A lot of it is because, like I'm the one that watches, like, the movie Orca, and I'm, like, crying for the whale the whole time. So I just am like, these poor monkeys, like, oh, this is terrible. And like, I have no sympathy for the humans. I'm just like, give the planet back to the monkeys.
Well, I've got good news for you. If you watch the latest series, monkeys are totally the protagonists here. They're
Maybe get on board.
Especially,
very much so.
Especially the second one where was it Woody Harrelson is like the head human. He's terrible. He's awful. We're definitely supposed to be rooting for the monkeys.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that one because it's never streaming. So, you know. Yeah, the Planet of the Apes, the latest trilogy is one of those ones like Wreck, where the first one you can get easy, and the third one you can get easy, but you're going to have to torrent or something to get the second one. So, yeah.
Right.
Pain in the neck.
Oh, it's terrible.
What did you think of this one, Paul?
I really okay. Again, I've been the tease, what they call the teaser trailer, which is like a minute and a half. I've been seeing for months, and I liked the trailer they showed on the Super Bowl was, I think, about 7.5 hours long, and it was just showing way too much of the movie. I'm like, no, I don't want to know this, and it's going into way too much detail. And so to me, it was like, oh no, don't do that. I hate when you do that.
Yeah,
because you're taking away sort of the fun of the discovery of it. So
yeah, they give away a lot of high action points, which I'll be waiting for in the movie. It's like, oh, is this character going to die? No, because they got to fight on the bridge.
Right. Yeah, right.
I don't remember much, but I do remember when two big monkeys are fighting on a bridge. The only thing, this one interested me, and Proximus looks like a real bad guy, so I like that.
Yeah.
But here's the one thing that puzzles me, and this is a big bugaboo of mine. I'm doing a panel in a couple of weeks on how to fix Marvel, and one of the problems is that CGI, in defiance of all natural law, is getting worse. I guess they're too they're too stretched out. There's not enough time to do it well. And okay, this is it's good CGI, but the first Planet of the Apes one, the first of the new trilogy, had fantastic motion capture to the point where I was like, man, Andy Serkis deserves a nomination. They were able to capture so much emotion. I the first time I saw the trailer, and there's just a scene, and it's just Caesar. Caesar gives an expression, just a look, and you can read so much into that face, and you're like, oh my God, this technology is just unbelievable. I'm wondering what this bunch of pixels is thinking. It's so good. Well, this isn't that good. It's good, but it's not as good, and it's been years since the last one came out.
You're right.
Why does Jurassic Park 1 look better than Jurassic Park 3? It's got Jurassic Park 3's got a lot more dinosaurs, but it doesn't have
Jurassic Park 1 mostly had actual
Stan Winston,
puppets. Well,
That's
they had
part
puppets and animatronics mostly.
Would it have
there wasn't as much CGI in that as you think.
Yeah, no, I realize that, and I think you know what? You can actually make a Planet of the Apes movie with actual actors in monkey suits. I have it on good authority. That can be done. And maybe save the CGI for when they're doing things like fighting on a bridge. Maybe that's something you don't want to be doing when you're wearing a suit. I understand. There are times when you want to bring in the stunt apes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, this looks it looks good, but yeah, it's just disappointing. We seem to be going backwards. I'm just going through the trailer and freezing a few frames here and there. And it's interesting to see. The other thing is sometimes they release things without finished effects.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They look a little. Things look a little blurry. I just click on a scene where there's a human actress and some CGI apes, and the apes are not as sharp, or they're too sharp, or so. But it takes me out of the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's tough to do.
You would think for a trailer you'd want to.
Well, you would think,
and I can understand you might not have the whole scene, ready for production, but for that trailer, you would think.
By God, have a team whose only job is to do the trailer, because this is what's going to put asses in seats. Yeah. There's no excuse to put out something that's subpar. It's like, oh well, we're going to fix it, and you're like, really? Dang, guys. No, you're on a deadline, but
you're asking me to trust you people.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well,
they're gonna.
We'll see.
If only they had a fall guy to put it on.
I see what you did there.
Nicely played.
Thank you. Do you have any thoughts on the Fall Guy or the sexy bacon that stars in the Fall Guy?
So again, this is one of those ones. The trailer's been out for a while. The main trailer, and I saw the main trailer. I'm like, eh. And then when I saw the when I saw the Super Bowl one, it gave me an epileptic fit and a seizure, and I dropped dead because it was flashing so fast, and
Yeah.
and it's like so. It's like, you know, it made me want to watch the movie less. Is that a good?
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
and so yeah, it's just like no, you know.
My
And
favorite
this
part.
is like loosely based on the original Fall Guy, right?
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
TV, with
Who was
So-
it? Lee Majors?
Lee Majors.
Yeah. My favorite
Which, I
part.
mean, and when I was in college, we watched it like every day. So.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
My favorite part of the trailer is that the idea, I use the term loosely here, is that Emily Blunt is directing a big budget science fiction movie where, and just like real movies, you know, like they're having a big battle scene and there's actual laser beams and explosions and stuff happening, which, as we all know, is not how movies are made anymore, and in fact never were. And what gets me is, if this had been like 20 years ago, I'd be looking at this trailer saying, damn, you know, I wish the movie that they're pretending to make in this movie were the actual movie, because that looks pretty kick-ass. And now, after 20 years of just mindless action CGI stuff and everything, I'm like, God, I'm glad they're not making that movie because it looks stupid. It looks like every other Netflix $200 million disaster. Yeah, it had a few funny bits in it.
Strike while the Gosling iron is hot.
Yeah, you know, the two of them are cute couple. Oh, gee, will they get together?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, they're not.
I wasn't really vibing on their chemistry at all. But I don't. Maybe I wasn't paying full attention to it. But I thought, and I like them both, but I just don't know that I like them both together.
No, and I don't. I'm tired of like, they're playing too much off of his Ken-ness. I liked him before
Very
when he was, like,
Ken.
Yeah, and it seems very much like just a riff on that. And the trailer is like, oh, and Emily effing Blunt, and, you know, come on, this is just like, come on, from the crazy mind of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they're trying to make these people into movie stars, and yes, they are movie stars, but they're not the movie stars of old that could open a movie. You know,
Right.
if I see Emily Blunt running away from monsters, I'm not like, oh boy, a new Emily Blunt movie. I can't wait to go see it. I'm like, well, those monsters look
Right.
pretty cool. I hope they don't eat Emily Blunt because I kind of like her. But mostly, I'm really focused on the monsters. Which brings us to
The other thing. Well, no, actually, before we do
before
that,
we fall away from Fall Guy,
ruin your.
wasted a perfectly good segue.
Just occurred to me was like, they're like, hey, yeah, we'll make a Fall Guy movie, and so then they realized, oh shit, people are gonna know about the TV show are like,
Yeah,
you know,
Bill.
50s or older. What the fuck? They said, oh, we better just completely pretend like this wasn't related to it anyway, and just completely sell it as a separate movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, I was like, oh, I know it's the Fall Guy because it's called the Fall Guy,
Right.
But, you know,
Isn't it funny? They had to pay someone some probably
Yeah.
considerable amount of money to use the term the Fall Guy, and it is, again, there is not a single ass that is going to come in contact with a seat just because it's called the Fall Guy. The
Right.
show did have its fans, but most of them, you know, are sitting in an urn on a shelf somewhere. and those that are still breathing probably don't know who this Emily Blunt character or this Ryland, you know, Gosling Gander or whatever. They don't care. It's obviously not the show they remember. Where's Lee Majors? He's dead. Shut up, Grandpa.
he's not dead, but he's going to probably show up in the movie.
Oh God, he's not dead. I feel terrible.
No, he's not dead.
What's
Not
he been
yet.
doing?
He might be soon, but not yet. No.
Farrah's
I mean,
dead, right?
Holy
Yeah.
cow! What?
Farrah Fawcett
Farrah's
is
dead. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lee Majors is still alive.
So-
Is he in bad
He's
health?
still alive.
I can't remember ever seeing him
I bet you
advertised at a
$10 bucks he's in
convention.
the movie.
Oh,
What?
well, I haven't seen him in any of those conventions where they bring out like Kevin Spacey and stuff. And you know, I've never seen Lee Majors advertised. Seems like he'd be a good fit there.
Have like a cheeky little scene at the bar or something.
I'm sure it's going to be
right.
he'll. But speaking about dead celebrities, holy cow! Do you think that company that had the commercial with Carl Weathers was like, "Hey, we scored him! We scored!
Woohoo!"
Dude.
I don't even remember what the commercial was for, but I remember
it was like a gambling
Thanks, Carl.
thing, which is like
okay.
Right. Yeah, it was with that football player.
DraftKings? Was it DraftKings? I don't know.
Oh, was it one of those? Or... the fan.
It was it was a gambling company, and Rob Gronkowski was in it. And then that's when they did that kick before the game, and he missed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry, everybody, if you lost money on that.
Yeah. Oh well.
It was funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We've come a long way as a society. It used to be gambling was something that you had to hide from your family and friends, and now it's advertised on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh well.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
So speaking of Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Bill.
Speaking of prequels, A Quiet Place, day one. So The Quiet Place was an entertaining one about a bunch of monsters that they were attracted to sound, so you had to keep real quiet. And they did some good stuff with that. I mean, the scene where this poor woman is giving birth, traditionally a fairly noisy thing to do. And then you've got a baby. Oh my God, that's their number one attribute is they scream for no reason at all.
Right.
And you're in a place where monsters will come and eat you. All right, that was pretty cool. They had some good stuff in that. But I didn't really waste a whole lot of time watching the movie that I was enjoying, thinking, gosh, I wish I knew how this all began. You know?
Were you afraid there was even a sequel to it as well?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely. I can't tell you anything that happened in the sequel, but yeah, certainly I wasn't going. How it started is not the most interesting part.
No, it's like, we're going to show you how they built the Death Star. Oh, I don't care. But yeah, so I mean, it's going to be the same. To me, I've already seen this movie, Bird Box. Yeah. I mean, the one entertaining part of it will be that these creatures, and I think maybe this is the wrong strategy. The strategy they have is to try to be quiet all the time. And we are a noisy species. The real strategy, I think, when they first show up, these poor monsters should be just hella confused. Like they don't know which way to turn. They end up in New York City. It's a cacophony of nothing but noise. They're just running into buildings and then trees and just screaming to stop. So that'll be pretty cool watching them. I think I could probably stroll through New York and not get killed by these things because they're too busy going after everything else. The pigeons are flopping around, whatever. But the other thing is in the first movie, and again, you're right. I remember nothing about the sequel. I remember thinking it's not bad. As sequels go, it was okay. In the end of the first one, they figured out a way to kill the monsters. Right. It was actually a fairly obvious way, but okay, it took them a while. And so now I'm going to be watching this one. It's like, well, if you guys would just like have some kid fiddling around with a ham radio, could solve this problem, but I guess there just wasn't time. I mean, they keep saying, oh, we're going to do Walking Dead. We're going to show how like the old society fell and things like, okay, that could be interesting, but you never actually do that because it's just too big. World War Z probably came closest to doing that and everything.
Yeah.
But,
and I mean, it's literally happening right now, so we don't need to see that.
Right. But it had some good stuff there, and everything. If you liked A Quiet Place and you liked A Quiet Place again, A Quieter Place. But clearly they have run out of ideas to do A Quiet Place. And again, I hate to keep using the term creatively bankrupt. No, I don't. I love using it because it's so true. There's just
it is though.
The only thing that'd be worse.
Have we seen anything original in any of these so far?
No, maybe one will be coming up. Because the only thing worse than this would be if you went back like years and years to go for a movie that, while a simple popcorn film, had an excellent 3-act structure. that was, you mean, you could watch this movie. There was not a single damn surprise in it, but it worked out exactly the way you thought it would. Everything was telegraphed, but it had an appealing cast and it had some pretty good for its time special effects. It was a one and done. And you're like, well, there's no reason why they would ever make a sequel to this movie.
Oh,
and here we go.
They were creatively bankrupt.
Yes. The only thing worse than Twisters, than making a movie called Twisters, would be if they said, what else came out around that time? Ooh, I got an idea. It's called Armageddon the hell out of here. It's going to be a sequel to Armageddon where another asteroid is coming and we get the survivors. And you know what? And as they're going through space, they find the frozen but preserved body of Bruce Willis. Oh, I smell money. Yeah, see, that's a terrible idea. But Twisters is just a close second. No, Bill Paxton's dead. Unlike Lee Majors, he really is dead. He's not coming back. And he was, like a good 1/3 to 40% of why that movie was great. Helen Hunt was also excellent in it. And the special effects were good at the time. It was so cookie cutter, but it's a sweet movie. It's a really good movie. It's just so damn predictable. And you also have to buy into the conceit that Twisters, much like the shark from Jaws 4, are way smarter than people traditionally give them credit for.
Yes.
If they got a grudge against you, they will chase your ass down. They will go after your aunt. They'll go after your family.
Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know what's interesting though. If you are going to make Twisters, the director who you're going to who you should get. How about the guy who made Minari, the Oscar nominated film about. It was the guy who directed Minari, Lee Isaac Chung, a few years ago. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, a bunch of stuff at the Oscars, and it's like this.
What's it about?
It's like a Korean American family in California in the 80s. and it's like that's not a big action picture.
Now okay, now you say that. My first instinct, of course, is to shit all over it. Like, why do they keep giving these action, superhero, adventure, whatever movies to people who have shown no real reason to think they have a feel for that? But then the second thought, the good angel on my shoulder, comes and says, well, maybe you're looking at this trailer, which of course is showing the high points and everything, the twisters and everything, but maybe a lot of this movie is actually exploring the characters, which would be good because, again, you can only make a tornado so exciting. I mean, if you're in one, they're very exciting. But it's like if I made a movie, if you make Cocaine Bear, you can't have nothing in the movie but Cocaine Bear, because even a bear on cocaine pretty much shows all of his tricks after a certain point. You got to care. You got to care about the characters. Is this character going to be killed by the cocaine bear? Yes or no? Well, yep, you get killed. I did not see that coming. All right, so maybe hiring someone.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe I'll give this more of a chance. You've actually piqued my interest. Gee, maybe the trailer should have done that. Maybe, but I guess probably the general people. Again, does anyone even remember Twister? I'm sure some do. I do.
I
showed it in
remember
class.
that it was a giant commercial for the Dodge Ram pickup truck.
Yeah.
I just remember the flying cow.
We got cows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the special effects look fantastic in this. But again, they're tornadoes. And the idea that there are people who go around chasing tornadoes and taking pictures and stuff. And the conceit of these movies is that there are special people out there who can just read the weather. They're like tornado whisperers. And they know exactly where it's going to show up, and they can position themselves in just the right way. And it's bullshit. There's not that many big twisters that show up. Otherwise we'd be hearing about it all the time.
Right.
And it looks like they're still trying to get those little things to float up into it, which is the ending of the first movie. They succeeded. And they were like, oh my God, all this information. Oh, well, so what happened? Did a computer virus erase it all? We got to do it again? It's been all these years?
I think the premise in this one is that they're trying to figure out how to use them to kill the Twister.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's screw.
Eh.
Yeah, let's screw around with nature, guys. That always works out well.
Yeah. Boy.
Speaking of, so is Helen Hunt going to make a guest appearance? Is she going to?
I did not see her in the cast list.
But she's got to be
Yeah.
in it.
I kind of wondered if it was going to be one of those situations like, oh, he is the son of, or something. Because I could sort of see that based on his look. And his character name was not, only the girl's character name was in the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if, if that's what they're going to try to do or if it's going to be a whole separate situation.
Yeah.
But again, this is one of those situations where you've got this actor. I'm sure he's lovely, but he's in like one or two other movies that are out right now. And it's like, surely there are other people that can act in these movies. And it's like they're taking this guy, Glenn Powell, and that Sydney Sweeney chick, and like they are just pushing them into our faces. Like, these are the new it people, whether you like it or not. They're going to be in the next every movie for the next 5 years.
You've got no say in the matter. I remember Armand Hammond was that for a while. It's like, they push these folks, and then all of a sudden they disappear. And you're like,
right.
Hey.
Oh, just a heads up. So Helen Hunt, she had actually pitched. She had pitched writing and directing a sequel.
Oh, wow.
Just a couple of years ago, but they rejected it because I think she wanted her character to get killed off.
Oh,
and so they rejected it. So
that's dark, Helen.
So maybe she won't be in this one because she wanted to do her own.
Yeah. Or they'll just So anyway, who knows?
I know Bill Paxton won't be in it.
You never know nowadays. They might. Uncanny Valley, Bill Paxton.
Those sons of bitches. They might actually do that. Yeah. If his estate, gives approval, he'll come out looking like Carrie Fisher at the end of that Star Wars movie, all like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I see. New York Post says, will Helen Hunt appear in the new Twisters movie? Her idea was rejected for shady reasons.
That does sound shady.
And a Universal source said that she is not returning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just pleased that it's not based on the game. So there you go.
And I just want to say also that who is this? The actor who's in it says Twisters is neither a reboot nor a sequel. The hell it isn't. What is it then, my friend? The most original idea to come out of Hollywood?
It's a requel.
Goes, it's definitely not a reboot. We're not trying to recreate the story from the first one. It's a completely original story.
So like how they intended Halloween to go.
Yeah.
Whole series of unrelated.
It's amazing
Twister
how
movies.
your totally original story has the characters running around with the exact same magical device, the tornado reader from the first one. Just
doing the exact same stuff they did in the first movie. Probably driving a Dodge Ram.
Yeah, maybe you should have called it something else, since it has nothing to do with the... Was there a movie called Twister? I did not know. See, this one's called Twisters because there's like lots of Twisters there.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of magical things and things
the place where there was only one Twister.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da.
That's a much better segue.
Oh, thanks. Well, yeah, Wicked. I don't know.
You mean Wicked Part 1? I slipped that in there.
Oh, God.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I missed that.
This is Wicked Part 1. I don't know if that's actually in the trailer, but it is Part 1 of a 2-part movie series.
Wow.
And I have not seen the play. So I am speaking even more out of my hindquarters than I normally do, which is considerable. But I have been informed by some folks who have seen the play that this is not entirely a bad idea, that the play is very much split in two. The first half is one way, and the second half, after the intermission, is something else. So they filmed the play up to the intermission. And as long as this first one works, it'll be great. But I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
Once again, this is another musical where they don't tell us it's a musical. I don't know.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
I thought that.
I thought it was fairly clear, but maybe that's just because I knew it was a musical. But maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the only musical part that I saw was when she jumps out the window and we've got her singing in the background, but that doesn't feel like, the character is singing. And I assume, I haven't seen Wicked, but I know it's got a lot of songs in it. They did this with Sweeney Todd, too, to the point where when I finally, talked Sean into watching it, she's like 2 minutes into the movie, she's like, oh, wait, this is a musical? She doesn't like musicals. I'm like, maybe just this part. Then I'm like, oh, no, it's like an opera. They're singing all the time. These people are going to burst into song at a moment's notice. But it turned out to be a great movie. I think people don't like musicals that much anymore. So they have to hide the fact that it's a musical. But
Wonka did real well, though. I mean, so.
Yeah? The new Wonka?
So, I mean, the new Wonka did real well. So I think it did actually better than like the Johnny Depp one. Even so, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if that's not necessarily the case. I mean, of course, then Color Purple bombed, but
yeah.
But so I don't know. I mean, I know it's well loved. I didn't realize the musical came out in 2003.
Yeah, they've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah, and then it was a book originally. So, and the book came out in 1995. So. I think it was the really one of the first one of those. Hey, we're going to tell the story from the villain's point of view.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
And those bug the crap out of me just because
Yes.
they've been done so much at now. But since this was sort of the first one that really did it, I think that's it gets more of a pass.
Well, it gets a pass from you and I, but does it get a pass from the audience that have now seen Maleficent, Maleficent 2, Cruella de Vil? Suddenly, which still. I still kind of have to stop and pause and like, did that really happen? We're gonna find out why she wants to turn puppies into coats. Like, I don't care. I could not. I really no. There's no and that's why little Hitler grew up the way he did. I don't care. Oh, he was abused as a child. I'm sorry. I'm thinking good. I hope it hurt.
I think you're talking about the Phantom Menace at this point.
Yeah. Yes. Really. Oh well. Listen. Yeah, he was evil, but if you know the backstory, I don't care.
Oh, you actually don't read the backstory about why the guy decided to write the book.
Uh-oh.
It gets dark. Yeah.
Oh,
it
really?
was based on the murder of James Bulger, where the little kid was two 10-year-old kids.
Oh.
Yeah, and took a 2-year-old. So yeah,
And
that was the genesis of this movie.
From that we got Wicked? Holy.
Yes, because he was like, how could they be so villainous? Were they born evil? Were there circumstances that pushed them to behave like that? So yeah.
Wow.
Here's some flying monkeys, kids. Have
Wizard of
fun.
Oz.
The flying monkeys look like a bunch of CGI toys. No, nothing. The flying monkeys in the first movie terrified me as a child, by which I mean last year when I watched it again. They're scary as bleep. They're great. They're these look like playing Joust. I mean, they're just CGI. They're not in the movie. This isn't for me. I'll probably, if I enjoy it, it'll probably be mostly for the songs. But it's probably going to take some doing to get Shauna to watch this, period. I don't know. I wish them well, because if it bombs, they probably already have half of the next movie already filmed, and there's not a damn thing they can do at this point.
Right.
And I'm sure this cost a fortune. It looks expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of movies that probably cost a fortune, I think is this our last one?
This is our last one.
This is our last one.
This is the only one I am literally looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we literally kind of saved the best to last. Thank you, Paul, to putting that together.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah.
Let's end strong.
Well, except I'm going to be the
skunk in the garden party here.
Do it.
Well, the Ryan Reynolds shtick is getting old.
Mm-hmm.
The multiverse crap is getting old.
Yeah.
And I watch it, I'm like, am I going to have watched all the other Disney Marvel shows to get this, like they've started doing in their movies? In that case, I'm like, fuck it. And so the only thing I hope is I know they did like a Deadpool murders the Marvel Universe
Yeah.
series of comics, didn't they?
Yes.
And I would love if they actually did that with this. In that case, hey, I'd be down for it. But um, and honestly, I think I'm probably the only person who just doesn't give a shit about Wolverine and has never cared about Wolverine and
Wolverine,
never really
right?
cared about X-Men. So I'm just, get off my lawn. I'll go
Wow.
see it anyway. I'm sure it'll be fun.
I can see the
know,
enthusiasm
ooh, it's-
dripping with every sentence.
Ooh, it's so naughty. He mentioned pegging in the
Yeah.
trailer. Ooh, how naughty. I don't know. I'm sick of the Ryan Reynolds
I'm hoping
playing
so.
the same character and everything.
Do you
Sorry.
know is Deadpool?
But I'll let
Wolverine,
you guys say how much you liked it though.
Yeah. Well, tell me,
What?
is it rated R?
I
hope
thought
to-
it was, but
I hope so. That's the
Yeah.
the fear everyone's had who enjoyed the Deadpool movies was that Disney would PG-13 it up, and I'm hoping they avoided that. Okay, so again, I've said it before. I'm doing a panel on fixing the Marvel Universe. I just want to say, Deadpool is not the way to fix the Marvel Universe. Deadpool, in fact, there's a real danger here. I'm looking forward to this movie, but there is a danger that this will serve the same function that Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein did to the Universal Horror Pictures. Because Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is a great movie. The monsters are treated with respect, but it was the death knell. It was pretty much, the last hurrah. Once you've gotten to the point in a series, in a universe, if you will, like the MCU, where you're actively lampooning it,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to, go back and say, oh, that was fun, wasn't it, kids? Well, here comes the Thunderbolts and Captain America, Brave New World, which we've, just spent 7 months doing reshoots on because God knows we can't shoot a movie without a finished script or anything. And sometimes it just doesn't test well. So back to the, you had your fun. Now it's please go see our movies. We're hemorrhaging money at this point. I just don't know. This is they're treading on some dangerous territory here because the Marvel Universe has a lot of things to make fun of, and the MCU, the fiasco that Disney has produced from the MCU is also fodder for some pretty funny jokes. But it's going to be the yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. But this is the only one they have for 2024. This is it. This is the only.
Oh, really? I didn't realize
yes,
that.
They've pushed everything back.
Wow.
They had no choices. Thunderbolts hasn't even started filming yet, and they keep hemorrhaging cast members. They've lost at least 2 because they dicked around for so long. I hope that's the reason. The other reason might be their rats jumping off a sinking ship. And I don't see any reason to think why Suicide Squad MCU version is going to be any better and do any better than Suicide Squad DC did. Yeah. Then they've got Captain America Brave New World, which I'm sorry, but everything coming out sounds like a disaster. They they tested poorly. They keep pushing it back, and they're talking about months and months of reshoots and entire scenes and characters disappearing now. So they're like shooting a whole new movie. Why does this keep happening? But that's not Deadpool and Wolverine's fault. They're probably going to do fine. It's going to make money. It's going to do fine. It's going to do fine. I just puts me in even greater despair for what's going to happen to Marvel going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I don't think you need to have, yes, the time people do show up from Loki, but I think that's probably going to be handled pretty quickly. I mean, even if you don't know who they are, if they have a brain in their head, they're just going to, it's like, who are you? Well, we're the people keep track of time. You've been screwing around with the multiverse. Ooh, multiverse. Make a multiverse joke and just move on from there. We don't need to really explain things. These people they're assholes with a time machine. There you go. Boom.
Right.
And on we go.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope so, but I got so burned with Doctor Strange, and I had seen WandaVision and liked WandaVision, but it was like, wait, you had to have seen it to get this movie, and I was promised a horror movie, and it wasn't, and so it's just like, I mean, I mean, this is probably be fun. I'm just curious, Of course, they're like, "Oh, it's going to change the history of the MCU." It's like, nah,
No, it's not.
all it's going to do is bring in the X-Men into it. Is the only thing it's really going to do, right?
Right.
And here's the thing: you cannot bring Deadpool into the MCU. You can do what I hope they did, which is bring the MCU into Deadpool. But for God's sakes, no. Neither Deadpool nor She-Hulk can be allowed to join the Avengers. It just
that would just throw off the whole vibe.
It cannot be done because so what? They're fighting Immorticus or whatever, and everything looks bad. I'm just going to wait for She-Hulk to look at the camera, wink, and then like walk away and grab the screenwriter and white out some pages and type some new stuff, and then come back in, and everything's fine because we've established that's what the character can do. So.
Thanks.
No, we can't have any of this fourth wall breaking. Marvel Universe worked because they took it seriously. And because they took it seriously, we took it seriously. Yeah, Groot's a walking tree. Fine. Rocket's a raccoon with a smart aleck attitude. That's fine. Why wouldn't he be? Takes place on another planet. Maybe they have talking raccoons. Shut up. Let me enjoy the movie. You can't be lampooning, and they've already gone a little too far in that self-awareness and quippiness and everything. You can't have a character like that be in there. Deadpool should be his own thing. Every couple of years we come out with another Deadpool movie to be the court jester, to make comments on the MCU as it is now and have a little bit of fun with it. But he can't be he'll be a virus if he actually shows up in the MCU proper.
What are your thoughts, Renee?
I always enjoy a Deadpool movie. They're always entertaining. I think that he and oh my gosh, what is his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, thank you. I think they have good rapport. But yeah, I guess it's I guess just because I'm not really expecting anything like groundbreaking. I'm not expecting to be like really super blown away. Like, wow, I can't wait till they have Deadpool and Wolverine too. But I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't associated with that whole Marvel universe, then it would be much more easy to get excited about.
Exactly. And even with Wolverine in it, I'd be like, okay, that's fine because they have fun with that. That's
Sure.
that's fine. But
yeah,
and I do actually kind of think it inspired me talking about getting sick of multiverse stuff. I thought it looks like it opens with a multiverse version of him that he didn't become Wolverine, or didn't become Deadpool, where he's just and it looks like he's just Wade Wilson, who, has horrible cancer and has just made it another year. And they're all, hey, celebrating the fact that he made it another year. And that's why they're like, hey, so I think that looks kind of interesting. But the question is, so.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what. I don't think it was. I think he's still Deadpool, but he went back in time and brought back to life all the people who had died. So
how do you go back in time?
Oh, at the end of
because it looks like that's how it opened.
At the end of Deadpool 2, he was constantly going back in time. He was going to kill baby Hitler. He killed.
I don't remember.
He killed Ryan Reynolds as he was reading the script for Green Lantern.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
yeah.
I forgot about that. How did he get to go back in time at the end of the second one? Because I forget.
Oh, wave handium. I don't know. He used Cable's technology or something. He did, something.
Oh, okay. I do remember that now. All right, because that was okay.
This is the only Marvel movie where there's no point in even thinking about who, what, when, why, and arguing about technology. All the others, sure. It's like, if Captain Marvel could make the sun come back, why didn't she do that at the very beginning? And then we wouldn't have a movie. It's like, okay, but
right,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
right.
Well, so that's our deep dive into the shallow pool of upcoming films. These are the ones that they had enough faith in to spend the big money for a Super Bowl ad. This doesn't make 2024 look like
It's rough.
Yeah.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good. call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like Mickey Moore Mance. We had the goal since training camp to give Chicago a Super Bowl champ. And we're not doing this because we're greedy. The Bears are doing it to feed the needy. We didn't come here to look for trouble. We just come here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
This is Speedy Willie, and I'm world class. I like running, but I love to get the pass. I practice all day and dance all night. I gotta get ready for the Sunday fight. Now I'm as smooth as a chocolate swirl. I dance a little funky, so watch me, girl. There's no one here that does it like me. My Super Bowl shuffle will set you free.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while, doing what's right and setting the style. Give me a chance, I'll rock you good. Nobody messing in my neighborhood. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
We are the Bears Shuffling Crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble, we're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm the punky QB known as McMahon. When I hit the turf, I've got no plan. I just throw my body all over the field. I can't dance, but I can throw the field. I motivate the cats I like to tease. I play so cool, I aim to please. That's why you all got here on the double to catch me doing the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm mama's boy Otis, one of a kind. The ladies all love me for my body and my mind. I'm slick on the floor as I can be, but ain't no sucker gonna get past me. Some guys are jealous of my style and class. That's why some end up on that. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I'm just getting down to the Super Bowl shuffle.
They say Jimbo is our man. If Jimmy can't do it, I sure can. This is Steve, and it's no wonder. I run like lightning, pass like thunder. So bring on Atlanta, bring on Dallas. This is for Mike and Papa Bear Hallis. But I'm not here to feathers ruffle. I just came here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm L.A. Mike and I play it cool. They don't sneak by me cause I'm no fool. I fly on the field and get on down. Everybody knows I don't mess around. I can break 'em, shake 'em any time of day. I like to steal it and make 'em pay. So please don't try to beat my hustle, cause I'm just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
We are the Bears Shuffling Crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble, we're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
The sack man's coming, I'm your man. Dent is a quarterback slow, he's gonna get bent. We stop the run, we stop the pass. I like to dump guys on there. We love to play for the world best fan. You better start making the Super Bowl plan. But don't get ready or go through any trouble unless you practice the Super Bowl shuffle.
It's Gary here, and I'm Mr. Clean. They call me Hitman, don't know what they mean. They throw it long and watch me run. I'm on my man, one-on-one. Buddies, guys, cover it down to the bone. That's why they call us the 46 zone. Come on, everybody, let's scream and yell. We're gonna do the shuffle, then ring your bell.
You're looking at the Frizz, I'm the rookie. I may be large, but I'm no dumb cookie. You see me hit, you see me run. When I kick and pass, we'll have more fun. I can dance, you will see. The others, they all learn from me. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle.